Is Topaz going to help Steven and Lars? Hello everyone, this is a Steven Universe discussion / theory video on Topaz's character and whether or not she would be a Crystal Gem or Homeworld Gem. And what I mean by that is, as I said at the beginning of the video, is she going to, continue helping Steven and Lars if she has a chance to, or she just completely dropped it and then she's just going to be, Homeworld forever, basically. Now, for those who have seen my other video talking about how Steven and Lars might escape Homeworld, go check that out if you haven't. I did bring up about how Lapis can save them and the gems can pick them up, so on and so forth, but I didn't go over about the gem that almost succeeded in helping Steven and Lars in Stuck Together, Topaz. If it wasn't for Aquamarine, Topaz would have let Steven and Lars go with an escape pod back to Earth. But even with Aquamarine getting involved, Topaz was going to make sure that they were going to get home safe. But Aquamarine wondered about what's going to happen and things like that if she did go through with helping the two or even poofing Aquamarine, so even worse. And because of that, Topaz pretty much gave up and continued to follow orders as usual. Now after that, it's whether or not Topaz would still even consider helping Steven and Lars again. She does know the price of what will happen now if any gem found out about this, especially Aquamarine, or even worse, the diamonds. So it's more or less whether or not she will take the risk of helping the humans and disobeying orders. She could, kind of like within Stuck Together, just give him another escape pod, set the coordinates, and let them be on their way, or, some other ship that she could fly them to and things like that. And if someone finds out, again, it's whether or not she decides to come along with Steven and Lars for the escape, or she just lets herself be a sacrifice for the two and, face the consequences. If she does leave with them in whatever way, she does not necessarily have to be a Crystal Gem right then and there. She can just be an ally. She can still be tied to Homeworld as well. Kind of like with the Famethus, yeah, they did help the Crystal Gems leave the zoo, but they're all not full-time Crystal Gems. They're just allies, and they're still tied to Homeworld and stuff since they're stuck on the zoo. At least to me, a Crystal Gem is someone who is completely against what Homeworld does entirely. Kindergartens, killing planets in the making of such kindergartens, gem hierarchy, like you can't do this one thing because you're a gem and I say so, so on and so forth. That's what a Crystal Gem is to me. They are completely against all those types of things. That's why we have, Pearl, Garnet, Steven, and we had Rose and things like that. And we had Bismuth, and Peridot slowly became one, and in ways, Lapis wasn't entirely a Crystal Gem. She didn't tie herself to one. She didn't exactly, think that she was a Crystal Gem, and she wasn't entirely against Homeworld. She just didn't like how things were exactly looking and how things were running. She just didn't like the look of it, and she was just hanging out with the Crystal Gems at that time. So, yeah, but, she eventually became one because she considers herself one. At least a Crystal Temp, I suppose. But that's what a Crystal Gem is to me, and to others out there as well. There still can be allies to them, to the Crystal Gems, but due to the rules and their morals in some case, those allies still can technically be a part of Homeworld. So it's up to Topaz whether or not she chooses to be completely against Homeworld, do a 180 and have Steven explain all the things that Homeworld does, all the evil and things like that. It's like, oh, they kill off planets and they sacrifice lives, unnecessary lives and things like that. And, you're just supposed to follow orders. You don't think for yourself. And if Topaz, listens and things like that and has another emotional moment, she might consider, being, oh yeah, I'm completely against Homeworld now. Just kind of do a 180 and things like that. And she'll just help Steven and Lars no matter the cost and even escape with them back to Earth or whatever planet they'll end up if that's the case. Or, there is the possibility that she will just help Steven and Lars and just be done with it. Like, she gives them a pod, says, alright, that's where you can go, don't say my name or anything like that. I didn't help you, wink, wink, and things like that. Be on your way before I get in trouble. And if someone does find out that she did help Steven and Lars, which is a high probability, she will be in trouble, most likely. Because in this case, it can't be with, like, Blue Holly Agate, where Holly tried to threaten the gems of saying, like, oh, I'm telling the diamonds, but Pearl kind of switched it up on her and said, like, nah, out of us, you'll be the one who's in trouble. So, in this case, that won't exactly work, since, you know, pretty much everyone is with Homeworld. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I think about Topaz's character and how it could happen. So, it's whether or not she decides whether or not, and, you know, if Steven does tell her about all those things and things like that. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think Topaz, you know, would help Steven and Lars and be a full-time Crystal Gem, or she'll just help them that one time and then that'll be that and things like that? And yeah, so in the comments, you know what to do like that. Want to draw any fan art for the channel would be greatly appreciated. Email and Twitter in the description below. Send to those two. Support me on my Patreon if you want to. That would be greatly appreciated, because I'm a broken man. That's as simple as that. This world sucks. And have a great day, have a great night, and everything else, you know what to do. Bye.